Have you ever wondered about the mystery surrounding Cain's wife in the Bible? This enigma is one that has intrigued scholars and mystery seekers alike for centuries. Today, we delve into the first chapter of this captivating tale, the birth of Cain. In the dawn of creation, when the world was still fresh and untamed, the firstborn son of Adam and Eve came into existence. Cain, as he was named, was the first human to be born in the post-Eden world, a world that was both fascinating and formidable. His birth marked a significant milestone in the narrative of human history, setting the stage for an epic journey that would shape the course of humanity. Growing up, Cain experienced the stark contrast between paradise lost and the harsh reality of life outside Eden. His parents, Adam and Eve, were his only connection to the lost paradise, their stories, his only glimpse into a world that was. And yet, Cain, like all children, was a product of his environment. He adapted, he learned, he grew, navigating this brave new world with the resilience and tenacity inherent in the human spirit. In this world, Cain was not alone. He had a younger brother, Abel. The relationship between Cain and Abel was much like any other sibling bond, marked by shared experiences, sibling rivalry, and mutual dependence. They were the only ones of their kind, their shared lineage creating a bond that was unique and profound. Together, they navigated the challenges and mysteries of life outside Eden, their brotherhood a beacon of hope amidst the uncertainties of their existence. Cain and Abel, the first siblings in the annals of human history, were born into a world of unknowns. Their lives were earmarked by their unique circumstances, their story a testament to the human capacity for adaptation and survival. They lived, they learned, and for a time they thrived, their existence seemingly peaceful in the grand scheme of things. But as we know, this seemingly peaceful existence would not last. The tranquility of Cain's early life was shattered by an act of betrayal, an act so profound it would forever etch his name in the annals of history and legend. It was an act of fratricide, the killing of a brother. The victim, Abel, his younger sibling, his blood, the second born to Adam and Eve. Their tale is a study in contrasts, an exploration of rivalries and relationships, manifested in the most primal way. Cain, the elder, was a tiller of the ground, a man who labored under the sun to bring forth the earth's bounty. Abel, on the other hand, was a shepherd, a caretaker of flocks, a wanderer in the fields under the open sky. The seeds of discontent were sown when both brothers brought forth offerings to their maker. Abel's offering, the firstlings of his flock, was accepted favorably. Cain's offering of the fruit of the ground, however, found no favor in the sight of the Almighty. Here we find the genesis of Cain's resentment, his jealousy that would soon spiral out of control. The green-eyed monster, as Shakespeare would later name it, took root in Cain's heart. It consumed him, gnawing at his soul until one fateful day it drove him to commit an unthinkable act. In a fit of rage, overcome by jealousy, Cain slew Abel, spilling his brother's blood on the very ground he tilled. In the aftermath, Cain was confronted by God, and in an attempt to deflect responsibility, he uttered the now infamous words, "Am I my brother's keeper?" But the blood-soaked earth cried out for justice, and the truth was laid bare. The consequences of Cain's actions were severe. Marked by his deeds, he was cursed to a life of ceaseless wandering, forever a fugitive and a vagabond. And so, marked by his deeds, Cain was banished, forced to wander the earth. The tranquility of his early life was no more, replaced by a life of hardship and solitude. The betrayal had come full circle. Now we find Cain, alone and marked, wandering in his exile. Banished by divine decree, Cain was destined to live a life of solitude in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Seared with a mark of protection yet punishment, he began his journey, shrouded in remorse and regret. His once familiar life was replaced by a vast, uncharted wilderness, a land that echoed his heart's desolation. Every step he took was a testament to his survival, fueled by sheer will and determination. The land was harsh, unyielding, yet Cain, the tiller of the soil, persisted. He battled the elements, the scorching sun and chilling winds, the barren land and scarce sustenance. Every dawn was a new challenge, every dusk a victory over his circumstances, and through this struggle, Cain was changed. The boy who had basked in the light of Eden was now a man hardened by the trials of the wilderness. His hands, once tender, were now calloused and strong. His spirit, once naive, now resilient and unbreakable. This transformation, painful yet necessary, shaped him into a survivor, a wanderer in the land of Nod. But in this desolate landscape, amid the solitude and struggle, Cain found something unexpected, a glimmer of hope, a flicker of life in the wilderness. It came not in the form of an oasis or a bountiful harvest, but in the form of another soul, a companion in the solitude. Amid the vast expanse of emptiness, he found her. A woman alone like him, surviving in the harsh land. Their paths crossed, their stories intertwined, leading to a bond formed in the crucible of survival. This encounter, this meeting of souls, was the beginning of a new chapter in Cain's life. In the land of Nod, Cain encountered someone who would change his life forever. Who was this woman Cain met in the land of Nod? A question that has puzzled scholars and enthusiasts alike for centuries. In the 4th chapter of Genesis, the Bible tells us that Cain took a wife, and yet her identity remained shrouded in mystery. Let's dive into this enigma, shall we? One theory suggests that Cain's wife could have been his sister. This idea stems from the biblical verses where Adam and Eve are described as the first humans. If we follow this line of thought, it would mean that their children would have to intermarry to populate the earth. Yet, this theory raises eyebrows and questions. If Cain's wife was indeed his sister, why then would the Bible not mention her as such? After all, it was not uncommon for ancient texts to document such relationships. Fascinating, isn't it? Another theory suggests that Cain's wife was a descendant of another family entirely, one that existed alongside Adam and Eve's lineage. This theory posits that the biblical account focuses on Adam and Eve as they were the line from which humanity's Redeemer would come, not that they were the only humans. And then there's the theory that Cain's wife was from the land of Nod itself. A captivating thought indeed. Could it be that there were other humans, a different lineage perhaps, living in the land of Nod? As we peel back the layers of this mystery, we encounter more questions than answers. Each theory opens up a labyrinth of possibilities that only serve to deepen the intrigue. Who was Cain's wife? Was she a sister, a distant relative, or a complete stranger from the land of Nod? The Bible leaves us with a cliffhanger, a mystery that continues to fuel debates and inspire explorations. Perhaps the identity of Cain's wife is not for us to definitively know. After all, mysteries have a way of keeping our curiosity piqued, don't they? Despite the mystery, one thing was certain: Cain was no longer alone. From birth to betrayal, exile to marriage, what can we learn from Cain's story? This tale, as old as time itself, is not just a narrative about the first man born of woman and his tragic downfall, but a profound exploration of human nature. It is a mirror reflecting our own strengths and weaknesses, our capacity for both good and evil. Cain's birth marks the beginning of human life outside the paradise. It symbolizes the commencement of mankind's journey in this vast, challenging world. His existence is a testament to the resilience of human spirit, our innate ability to adapt and survive, even in the harshest of realities. The betrayal, however, reveals a darker side of humanity. Cain's jealousy and rage led him to commit the first act of fratricide. This tragic event underscores the destructive power of negative emotions. It serves as a stark reminder that unchecked feelings of resentment and envy can lead to catastrophic consequences. His subsequent exile, a consequence of his actions, represents the universal law of cause and effect. It teaches us that our actions have consequences, that we cannot escape the repercussions of our deeds. It is a lesson in accountability and responsibility, a call to introspect and evaluate our choices. The mystery of Cain's wife, on the other hand, opens up a world of speculation and debate. It prompts us to question, to seek answers, to explore the unknown. It inspires curiosity and encourages critical thinking, traits that are vital for intellectual growth and development. Lastly, Cain's life, from birth to his final days, is a story of redemption. Despite his sins, he found love and built a family, proving that there's always a possibility for change, for growth, for redemption. Cain's life, marked by tragedy and redemption, serves as a reminder of the complex tapestry of human existence. His story encourages us to reflect, learn, and grow, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a glimmer of hope.